Welcome to the Third World Congress on Thyroid Cancer. This Congress was started in 2008 in Toronto and given twice in Toronto. And since that early beginning in 2008, we've now, as of today, doubled our registration and have a total registration of 1,400 delegates. So thank you very much and welcome. I just have some introductory comments and wanted to note that of these 1,400 delegates, this is an old slide and needs to be updated. You can see the delegates derive from 72 different countries. So this is really the core of this Congress is really two features. One is its global underpinning, which you can see is represented by our delegates, which is also reflected not only in our attendees, but also in our faculty, but also in the multidisciplinary nature of this Congress. So this is not just surgery, otolaryngology, general surgery, endocrine surgery, but also it's medical endocrinology, endocrine oncology, oncology, nuclear medicine, pathology, cytology, radiology, ultrasound. All of these different multi-specialties are involved in our World Congress. I want to introduce the steering committee briefly because these are the people that you just want to see their faces and so that they are your helper bees. Jeremy, Brian Haugen, Jatin Shah, Ashok Shaha, Steve Sherman, Ian Witterick, and I'll get to these. Can you turn that slide down now? Just halt the slide there, yeah. Go to the next one, and just halt that slide now. Before I get into some of the discussion of some of the practical issues to help you mediate the Congress, I just wanted to introduce a couple of individuals that will help welcome you to our Congress. I wanted to first introduce Dr. Keith Lillamo, who is Surgeon-in-Chief, Chief of Surgery at Mass General Hospital and the Gerald Austin Professor of Surgery, Harvard Medical School. Dr. Lillamo, after undergraduate work at University of South Dakota, obtained his MD from Johns Hopkins in 1978, and he joined the faculty in Hopkins in '85 and rose to the rank of professor there in 1996. In September '03, he was appointed the Grossfield Professor and Chairman of Department of Surgery in Indiana University, and in May 2011, the Surgeon-in-Chief and Chief of the Department of Surgery at Mass General Hospital in Boston and is the Gerald Austin Professor of Surgery, Harvard Medical School. He's served as president of multiple organizations, including the Society for Surgery of the Alimentary Tract, president of the Society of Clinical Surgery, president of the Society of University Surgeons, and president of the renowned Halsted Society, and is immediate past president of the American Surgical Association. In April 2015, he was inducted into the Johns Hopkins Society of Scholars. Dr. Lillamo?
Thank you very much, Greg. It's really a pleasure to be here. My congratulations to Greg and the steering committee for putting together what looks to be an absolutely fabulous Congress, extraordinarily well attended. We from the Mass General and Mass Eye, who share Greg as a faculty member, as well as all of the Harvard hospitals and all of Boston, are very pleased to welcome you. We hope you have a great Congress. We hope that the weather in Boston cooperates and that you have a great time. It's particularly special for me to be here for this great organization. I'm happy to stand up here and blow away every HIPAA violation to say I'm a thyroid cancer survivor, and so I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and I hope you have a great Congress, and welcome to Boston. Thanks.
Thank you, Keith. I'd like to now introduce my boss, Dr. Brad Welling. He is the Walter Auguste Lecomte Chair in the Harvard Department of Otolaryngology and Chief of Otolaryngology at Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary and Mass General Hospital. After undergraduate Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry with a minor in Japanese at the University of Utah, his otolaryngology residency was done at University of Iowa in Iowa City, with fellowship subsequently in otology, neurotology, and skull-base surgery with Dr. Glasscock. He joined the faculty of The Ohio State University, completing his PhD in pathobiology and as an honorary Master's of Science from Harvard University. He serves as the Vice President of the Triologic Society, President of the American Neurotology Society, and President of the American Otology Society, and President of the U.S. branch of the Collegium. He's been really a wonderful mentor, and though an otologist, he has a very solid understanding of endocrine surgery within our field of otolaryngology, and has been a tremendous mentor to me personally in that regard. Dr. Welling?
Thank you, Professor Randolph. It's a great joy and a pleasure and honor to be here to welcome you to this wonderful Congress. I think that the magnitude of what you're accomplishing here is stupendous. I realize I might be a little late in welcoming you to Boston because it looked like there was a full slate of activities yesterday with the ultrasound courses and the international symposia, so maybe a little belated, but welcome to Boston. On behalf of the Harvard Department of Otolaryngology, it's great to have you here. I'd like to thank all of you who are participating, whether you're teaching or learning. I'm sure that you're here to share your knowledge with your colleagues and to enhance your ability to treat patients. And at the end of the day, that's what makes our lives satisfying, to foster those relationships collegially and to better care for our patients. So it's really nice that we can help in that small way. I just want to say that Dr. Randolph has assigned me. I'm in charge of the weather, so if the weather's good, that's my fault. Okay, anything else, there's a problem, talk to Dr. Randolph about that. But I hope that you'll enjoy this time. I wanted just to thank Dr. Randolph, the steering committee, all of those who've helped to organize this Congress, the staff, tremendous amount of work and all the details that go into make this a successful Congress. I want to thank them. I also just want to mention the sponsors. I know we're not allowed to do that in a CME venue, but I have to say that without the help of our sponsors, a world-class Congress like this would be impossible, and so I want to thank them and our colleagues in the industry who've helped us. So I hope you'll leave well satisfied. I hope that you'll find that in the 16 different segments and 124 presentations and all the other interaction, the panels and so forth, that you'll find pearls of wisdom to take back with you, and that you'll be able to go back and say this was a great Congress, and I feel assured that you will. And again, welcome to Boston. It's great to have you here. Thank you, Dr. Randolph.
Thank you, Dr. Randolph. Thank you so much. It's such a nice All right, so now if it does rain, you've got do you want to give your email about? Okay. So we'd like now to, I'm very, very pleased that we have a Boston City Councilor, Josh Zakim, here. Dr. Zakim, Mr. Zakim is really a strong advocate for issues of social and economic justice and chairs the City Council's Committee on Housing and Community Development and the Special Committee on Civil Rights. Josh continues to advocate for policies that make Boston a welcoming city, and so his presence here today is very much appreciated. He is focused on improving access to Boston City schools, creating and maintaining affordable housing, and advocating for rights of the working class and immigrant families. All of our hospitals are contained within his district, so we really are happy that he is here with us today. And that includes Back Bay, Beacon Hill, Fenway, Kenmore Square, Mission Hill, and the West End. In addition to his role in the City Council, Josh continues to be an active board member of the Lenny Zakim Fund, an organization founded by his late father and friends, supportive of innovation, grassroots organizations dedicated to tackling complex social issues. Josh?
Thank you, Dr. Randolph. I think I almost got a promotion to a MD over there, but I'll stick with the JD and the City Council. But really, good morning. Thank you all for having me this morning. Thank you to the steering committee, everyone who I know has worked so hard to organize this event with so many people from so many different institutions, countries, and cities being here in Boston. We're really thrilled that you've chosen to host your conference here in our city. As those of you who live here or around here, or you may have heard a little bit about Boston, our educational and medical institutions are a huge part, not just of our economy, not just of our culture, but are one of the driving forces for this region. And it's incredibly gratifying to see that that is recognized on a global level when people come here to have the kind of discussions, to have the kind of symposia you're having this weekend. It's really exciting for us. It highlights a lot of the hard work that's been going on for generations, for years, by many of you, by our neighbors, by government officials, by people who live in our neighborhoods, by doctors, by researchers. It's just so important. I'm incredibly proud to represent many of the medical institutions and colleges and universities in the area with some of the best researchers and clinicians in the world. And I'm really proud that you have chosen Boston to have your conference here this summer. While you're here, it's down, I think, 124 sessions were mentioned. It seems like you're going to have your hands full, but just in case you have some free time, I want to encourage you to see what else the city has to offer. We have great museums. The Institute of Contemporary Art is just down the street. We have the Freedom Trail you could walk to. The weather's nice. We're even taking a game at historic Fenway Park. If you're a Yankees fan, even you can at least acknowledge it's a beautiful ballpark. It's a nice historic place. You can check it out, whether you like the Red Sox or not. It's really exciting. But I really do want to just thank you all for the work you do every day, for being here in Boston, and at a time when, I don't want to get too political here, but when science and even access to health care is really under attack here in the United States, it's more important than ever for people like you to be here, from 70-plus countries, coming together to talk about how we can bridge gaps in knowledge, in culture, and figure out ways to work together to end thyroid cancer, to continue building a community here in Boston and back home where all of you have come from, of a welcoming place, a place that embraces knowledge and reason and rationality, and hopefully make things a little nicer as well in our community. So I won't go on. I've been in elected office a few years. I could probably talk the length of your conference, and I know you don't want to see that. But really, thank you for being here. Thank you for having me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hope you learn a lot, and I hope you get a chance to explore a little bit of what the city of Boston has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Very good. Well, that's very nice. Thank you all, Dr. Welling, Dr. Lillimo, and Mr. Zakem. Thank you so much for your time and your welcoming comments. So I just want you to all appreciate that this is the largest thyroid cancer meeting that's ever been held on the face of this planet, and you're all part of it. And so it is very important to us, your experience. We have spent years working towards this conference to make sure that these few days are the very best educational, networking, communicative set of days for thyroid cancer knowledge acquisition that you can possibly have. So I wanted to please just have each of the steering committee stand. Ian, these are the people who you will access. Ian, can you just stand up and hold up your hand there? Dr. MacGyver, Dr. Freeman, Dr. Shaha, Dr. Shah. Do we have, is Ezra? Is Ezra here? Okay, very good. I'm sorry? And is Dr. Haugen here? So the faces that I showed you are the people that you can access. Any of the golf shirt, black shirted individuals also are the technical AV people, but these steering committee members are your friends. They want you to have a great time here, and so please access them as you feel is appropriate. So, in terms of just the organization of the hotel, being a little dyslexic, it's easy for me to get disoriented, and I found a way of managing the hotel a little bit, and it's relating to this map here that Bobby Hoffman of the Bailey Group was kind enough to make. So the star is where you enter the hotel, and if you walk directly into the hotel check-in, if you're standing at that check-in where you did with your luggage to get your room, to the right and down the escalators is where you are here now. To the left to the left side is the Marina Ballroom, and to the left and down the escalator is the exhibit hall. So it's kind of relative to where you checked in, the left end down or right end down. Can we advance those slides now? And so the Galleria is to the left side of the lobby and down, and then that is also where the Harbor Wing conference room, group of conference rooms is. The faculty presentations, just a note to the faculty that we want you to upload your, can I have that, the timing of that turned off? We don't want it automatically to advance. If you go to slideshow and click off timing, that should do it. So let's go back one. So in terms of faculty presentations, there isn't a discrete faculty speaker room, and so you go to the room that your presentation is and bring a jump drive and load it to the computer in the back of the room. The larger rooms will have a computer in the back of the room. Smaller rooms will have a computer on the podium, and that's where you load your presentation. As I mentioned, the black golf shirt individuals will be around to help you. And there is a faculty lounge in the Payne Room, lobby level, where you can review your PowerPoint slides, 3.0. And so we do plan to have a 4.0 in 2021 in Boston. There is also some discussion amongst the steering committee of a World Congress 3.5 in 2019. The exact formatting of that is still yet to be decided, but just keep it, save the date that in 2019 there may be a World Congress event, location to be determined, but 4.0 in 2021 will certainly be in Boston. And we just need to be, there we go. So this international component of the World Congress is denoted by what Dr. Welling mentioned, some of the programming yesterday. We had a Latin American symposium that Miguel Herrera put on, which was packed. We had an Indian subcontinent, Asia-Pacific Rim symposium also yesterday, which was packed, and an Indian subcontinent symposium as well in the morning yesterday. We've introduced Dr. Welling and Dr. Lillimo and Councilor Zackham. So with that, we want to move forward with the beginning of the program, and so Brian, I think we can go ahead and start with the beginning of the programming here in our main conference room, which is panel number 1, Evaluation and Management of Thyroid Nodules, Integrating Imaging, Cytology, and Molecular Markers. And the moderator of this is Dr. Brian McIver, who will lead the panel.